Hi everyone, today I'm going to tell you 10 touristic places that you have to visit if you ever go to the city of New York. Number 1. The Central Park. Central Park is an urban park in Manhattan, New York City. Central Park is the most visited urban park in the United States, with 40 million visitors in 2013 and one of the most filmed locations in the world. Central Park was designated the National History Landmark by the U.S. Department of the Interior in 1962. It is one of the most famous sightseeing spots in New York. It is bordered on the north by Central Park North, on the south by Central Park South, on the west by Central Park West, and in the east by Fifth Avenue. Only Fifth Avenue along the park's eastern border retains its name. The other streets bordering the park change names while they are adjacent to the park. The park, with a perimeter of 6.1 miles, was opened on 717 acres of the city-owned land and was expanded to 1843 acres. So yes, it's one of the biggest parks in the world and it's the biggest park in the city of New York. It is 5 times of the size of Monaco, so yeah, it's really big and you have to see it if you ever go to New York. They even have a zoo and it's a really beautiful park. Number 2. The Empire State Building. The Empire State Building is a skyscraper located on the intersection of Fifth Avenue and West 34th Street in New York City, United States. Its name derives from the nickname of the state of New York. It was the tallest building in the world for over 40 years, has a height of 443.2 meters. More than 2.5 million people visit the building every year. The observatories are located on floors 86 and 102. From where you can see the spectacular views of the city. At the entrance to Fifth Avenue, admire the marble lobby with the Art Deco decorations. The top 30 floors are illuminated with different colors depending on the season of the various celebrations. So yes, if you ever go to the city of New York, you can't get out of there if you haven't visited already the Empire State Building, because this is one of the most famous and one of the most loved skyscrapers of the city of New York. Number 3. The Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is one of the most famous monuments in New York, the United States, and around the world. It is located on the Liberty Island south of Manhattan Island, near the mouth of Hudson River and near the Ellis Island. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from the French to Americans in 1886 to commemorate the centennial of the United States Declaration of Independence and as a sign of friendship between the two nations. The problem is that if you want to visit the Statue of Liberty, you got to make reservations 3 weeks before because it is on an island, so you have to travel by water to get on there. So it is a big problem. And also because it is really visited and it costs a lot. A lot of people is trying to get in there, so you need to make reservations a lot of time before you go because it's really hard to get reservations to go in there. But even if you're going to New York, you have to do it because it is an icon of the United States and New York, so you can get out of there without visiting the Statue of Liberty. Number 4. The Rockefeller Center. The Rockefeller Center is a complex of 19 commercial buildings covering 22 acres between 48th and 51 streets in New York City, United States, built by the Rockefeller family. The resort is located in Midtown Manhattan, spanning the area between 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue on Manhattan Island, New York. In this area are some of the most luxurious boutiques in New York. It was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1987. You can go there if you want to go shopping with your friends or if you want to go skating. And if you are in New York on December, you have to go there because it looks beautiful in Christmas time. Number 5. Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden is a multi-purpose sports pavilion located in the Manhattan district of New York. It is located on the junction between the 7th and the 8th Avenues on 31 to 33 streets and above Pennsylvania Station. It was inaugurated on February 11 of 1968. It's the fourth construction with the same name in the city. The first two Coliseums were located in Madison Square, where the names come from. When the second pavilion was demolished, a new Coliseum was constructed at the junction of 8th Avenue and 5th Street. The current MSG site is located at the site of the former Pennsylvania Station. For this reason, in 2013, the mayor of the city of New York gave a 10-year ultimatum to the property of the building to demolish the pavilion for future construction instead of the new station. Number 6. Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium is the park where the New York Yankees play in the Major League Baseball of North America. Inaugurated in 2009, it supplanted the stadium of the same name that operated in the period of 1923 to 2008 and was extended to the present stadium in its south part. It has a capacity of 54,251 spectators, the third largest of the major leagues. Generally speaking, Yankee Stadium has features that evoke the old baseball park. It although 63% larger plus several modern additions. It is the most expensive building ever built in baseball history and the second sports venue worldwide behind the Wembley Stadium. Number 7. Times Square. Times Square is an intersection of Manhattan formerly called Plaza Longacre. It is located at the corner of Broadway Avenue and 7th Avenue. It received its present name by the offices of the New York Times that were in the building on Times Square. The area of Times Square is formed by the blocks located between 6th Avenue and 8th Avenue that constitute western part of the Midtown area of Manhattan, like Red Square in Moscow, Piccadilly Circus in London, and Tiananmen Square in Beijing. Times Square has become a world icon and symbol of New York City, characterized by its animation and luminous publicity. Number 8. The Central Park Zoo. The Central Park Zoo is a small 6.5-acre zoo located in Central Park of the New York City to the east of the United States. It is part of an integrated system of 4 zoos and the managed New York Aquarium by the Wildlife Conservation Society, and it is accredited by the Zoological and Aquarium Association. The zoo began in the 1960s as a home of wild animals, becoming the first official zoo to open in New York. The zoo was modified in 1934 with the addition of many new buildings in a square around the sea lion pool. Finally, the zoo was renovated in the mid-1980s and reopened at 1988 with the replacement of old cages by the natural environments. Number 9. The Madame Tussauds Museum. The Madame Tussauds Museum is the world's best-known wax museum. It has the largest collection of celebrity figures. The headquarters of the museum is in London, but there are also establishments in other major cities around the world, like in New York. Mary Tussauds was a wax sculptor born on December 1 of 761 in Strasbourg, France, and died in London on April 16 of 1850. She was a foundress of the museum. Number 10. Little Italy. Little Italy is a neighborhood in Manhattan, New York, named for having been populated in its origins by large numbers of Italian immigrants. Formerly, the neighborhood included Elizabeth, Mott, and Mulberry Streets from Canal Streets as well as the surrounding area. As Italian Americans left Manhattan for other communes and suburbs in the mid-20th century, the neighborhood, recognizable as Little Italy, gradually waned and large parts of the neighborhood were absorbed into Chinatown. But even at that, you can find a lot of Italian places in there, and it is a really nice place to visit if you are in New York.